Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 5 p.m. How's everybody feeling after a few days of hacking? How are you guys doing? Let me hear you a little bit. Come on. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much. My name is Jorge, your boy Techcortes. I'm MC for ETH Denver, and this is literally the first panel I'm presenting. And I'm happy to be here with all the family from Denver and the ETH Denver that have been welcoming us for so many years. This is one of the greatest examples to follow is the community and the people committed to grow ETH Denver for so many years. I want to give them a big shout out to all the volunteers. Everyone in ETH Denver, thank you so much for hosting us. I'm your boy Techcortes, coming visiting from Miami. Been here before as volunteer, mentor, judge, and this time around we are presenting to you guys. Want to have a lot of more people coming if they want to join us for the next panel. We are making big announcement, everybody. If you guys want to come join us, we are announcing the launch of ETH Mobile, and we're so proud to make it here on the main stage of ETH Denver. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm not going to take too long. I think our speakers are ready to come in and take over. If you guys have ever heard about Wallet Connect, raise your hand. Come on. Has anybody here about Metamask ever? Raise your hand. Come on, I want to hear everybody. Well, thank you so much. We're going to have great panel of speakers tapping into what it is, the last consumer, tapping into how do we make mass adoption possible through the mobile experience. So I want to welcome our last panel of the day. We have been having some changes on the agenda, and we brought it here to the main stage because it's worth it. And this is the first announcement happening in Miami. So stay tuned. This is going to be a little introduction to what's going to happen down in Miami for ETH Mobile. So welcome, everybody. And I want to let the speakers come into the stage. And I appreciate if we give them a round of applause to our last panel of the day. Welcome. And I'm going to let them take it from here. Thank you so much, everybody. Please, one more round of applause to our last panel of the day, ETH Mobile, launch at ETH Denver. Thank you so much, everyone.
Cool, so much
what's up,
energy
Denver?
here, huh? Oh, you want to say something?
I want to say what's up at Denver. Woo!
What's up, ETH Denver? Where is the energy? Awesome. See so many strangers, so many cool faces. How many of you guys are building something at this hackathon? How many of you guys are developers? Raise your hands. Oh, awesome. We have a good audience. Let's quick jump in a round of introduction. Yeah, please go, Mirko.
Hey guys, I'm Mirko, dev/engineer at Metamask. Been involved in the Ethereum space since 2016. Really excited to be here.
Hey guys, my name is Ferdy. I'm the co-founder of Seddon. It's a Venmo-style peer-to-peer money sending app. We're currently launching our MVP for testing, so if anybody's interested, come hit me up and get some money.
Yo, what's up at Denver? I'm Derek. I'm CTO at Wallet Connect, but my internal official title is Chief Bug Committer, which was very hard earned. Jakub, who's clapping, thank you, Jakub, can confirm. And yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm very excited about bringing 1 billion people to crypto. And I think there's not even 1 billion desktops out there, so we need to make an epic crypto mobile experience in order to reach the mass markets. So I'm very excited for Jorge and Jenny to organize ETH Mobile to usher in this new era for crypto.
Nice. I like how you kind of like finish it up with the next wave of adoption, 1 billion people. I'm super bullish on that. So so let's start. Like, what do you guys wanna talk about? I was thinking like, mobile onboarding, why we need mobile. Like let's start with some question like why do we need mobile? And we can jump on account abstraction and specific things around, but why mobile onboarding is important and who need to care about this?
Yeah, I'll take it. So, I mean, there's just not so many desktop users. In emerging markets, people don't have a desktop. So if you want to reach mass market, more than 1 billion people, it has to be on mobile. And I think similar to what happened on the desktop, we can leapfrog some of the issues that we're experiencing on desktops and address much of the crypto anxiety through mobile wallets, like the Metamask mobile wallet. So one source of anxiety in crypto is, am I gonna get hacked? And I think when I'm in my trusted iOS environment, like I'm already a bit less scared than when I'm on a desktop. And also I think on mobile we can, Wallet Connect just launched Wallet Connect V2 and together with Metamask. And one of the core features here is it implements the CAPE 25 standard. So there's a standards body called CASA that Metamask and others are part of, which stands for chain agnostic standards, basically. And the CAPE 25 standard removes chain switching. So as an end user, like as a no coiner who's coming into crypto, like I don't want to know what the chain is, like I just want to go. So it's like one of those things that really helps reduce anxiety and crypto adoption. And it's first happening on mobile, later also going to happen on a desktop. Metamask was part of the standard. So I think we're just moving faster on mobile too.
Yeah, for me also it's really important that, I don't know, if I want to use a DApp, I don't want to open my laptop, log in, connect to MetaMask, etc. I just want to do, if I want to do a DEX swap, I just want to do it from my mobile, if I want to trade some NFT. So I think that's why mobile onboarding and the entire user experience of dApps on mobile, it's so important.
Yeah, actually I want to pick up like what you said on NFTs. Like, is there any specific like use case or vertical that you think like, mobile will own this vertical? Like, I'm thinking about, peer-to-peer gamings or so those kind of like layer 2 gaming transactions. But do you have in mind other verticals in the space that will conquer mobile adoption?
For me, definitely gaming is probably the biggest field, and this is something MetaMask we are looking a lot into it. We recently released an SDK which is targeting especially game developers, where they will be able to connect their game straight to MetaMask, and then they can then have things like achievement in NFTs, the entire connection to different chains. So yeah, gaming is definitely massive.
I think for the adoption of 1 billion users, it's also very important to look past the traditional blockchain use cases and the traditional blockchain apps, because mobile is super present in all of our lives in Web2 apps. So it's just a natural route to gain the new users by offering services with crypto sort of technology behind it, or parts that are crypto technology behind it. And you just won't onboard these users if you just offer desktop access.
Like this week, Spotify launched on Android with Wallet Connect for playlists. So there's like one theme to follow is like these Web2 use cases that already exist that are not now like leveraging crypto for some things. So there's Instagram that launched NFTs also like with MetaMask and Wallet Connect and other wallets. And now there's Spotify. So I think that's just domino after domino falling where apps that have billions of users like start providing new value for those users using crypto. And now we just have to reduce those last barriers that the UX is really, really nice. One example of that is also through this CASA standards body. We launched the Cacao standard, which allows you to do a sign-in with Ethereum in just one user interaction. So as a recap, signing in Ethereum allows you to log in or sign up with a website using your address, your wallet address. And what needs to happen there is that the website, which is usually centralized, can recover your public key from assigned nonce. So thus far, this has always been 2 steps. So for an end user, this is kind of terrible, especially if you're on mobile and you have to switch to Metamask or another wallet twice. Like now with this Cacao standard that's proliferating, many wallets already implemented. This is just one step, so it's a convenient user experience. And once this has proliferated across wallets, then it's easy for the Instagrams and like the Spotifys of the world that have billions of users to just add this.
Yeah, what I wanted to add as well is that for me it's super exciting that on mobile you can also leverage a native feature of your phone. For example, you can access your HD kind of key. You can use Apple Pay to own a ramp. So there is all this kind of feature that are integrated in your phone by default that you can use and to make them interact with your DApp or with your app.
Yeah, 100%. When hardware wallet on mobile? Oh, just for shout out. But well, I want to touch on your point on challenges, like single logins, right? Like this is like something that is easier for the end users. What are the other challenges that you see, or anyone here, right? Like challenges, blockers. Why we're not getting more people on mobile? Like MetaMask is with Essential, with mobile. Like anybody out there has his own kind of like mobile version, but why not everybody's on mobile today? What are the blockers or challenges that you think end users or even developers? Like let's touch, because we're obviously in ETH Denver, we need to touch also on the developers. But what challenges do you see out there today for mobiles?
I think I want to say 2 things. Like for end users, the problem is definitely no coiner adoption. And if I on like 30's app is a good example, the Sedden, if a no coiner enters Sedden, they have to go and download a wallet, and then they have to learn what's a seed phrase. And at that point, my mom is already ultra scared. So like my mom really loves me, so she's gonna go and download a seed phrase wallet, but like not everybody's gonna do that. So I think that's a real challenge. Like seed phrases. And then some folks are experimenting with custodial wallets, or in my opinion, what's better, like MPC wallets, stuff like that. So there's a lot of innovation coming, but definitely for the end users, the on-ramp experience is the biggest challenge. So, and you need to be onboarded immediately. At Wallet Connect, we're hosting Web3 onboarding summit on Thursday, and like to really put this on the center stage, this onboarding experience. For the developer, I think a big pitfall, and that's like to everybody here in the room right now, a big pitfall is that we develop our applications on the desktop. And why is it a bit pitfall? It's because one of the biggest challenges developing mobile apps or like mobile websites, mobile dApps on a website, not like native, is universal linking. And Apple is notoriously strict with universal links. So you have to really like dive into the last detail to make these universal links work. So if you, for instance, if there's any network call happening while you're before you sign a transaction, then the universal links breaks, and instead of you being transferred to MetaMask or another wallet, you're being transferred to the App Store. And now the developer is completely confused. The end user is completely confused. So that's a real developer challenge where like developers need to step in and up their game. And a challenge for developers is there's no testnets available on these mobile apps. So MetaMask, I think MetaMask is like the exception that supports Ethereum Girly, but doesn't support Arbitrum Girly or any of the L2s. Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, I think MetaMask is agnostic as to what chain you mobile app. If I just want to maybe add
on to hold the mic.
Sorry, I want to add on the challenges. I think another big challenge is to bridge the gap between sort of you have your users that want to be fully in charge and want to understand what's happening and want to really sign every transaction. And on the other hand, you have users that do smaller scale transactions. It's not that important. It's especially for our app, it's like sending $10 to somebody. And then you have a lot of issues and complexities around that. Like, for example, we use gasless transactions, so we have signed type data transactions, and that's not really readily interpretable for a user at that moment. So you probably need some sort of tenderly TX simulation to make users feel more comfortable with signing something that they don't know. Now, obviously, everybody's able who is technically sophisticated enough to understand what these transactions do, but it's still a big hassle for users like this, JSON file looking like a screen. And I think generally, like, making complexity more understandable for people is a big problem. And I think it comes from the crypto ethos and where crypto comes from, that a lot of tech is being displayed to the user. And I think it's a challenge that dApps and infrastructure providers need to think about, how they can abstract the right level of complexity away from the user, so it's usable.
What's this triangle about, like security, usability? What was the third one? I don't remember. Yeah, it was quite cool. Yeah, it's like
decentralization, or
scalability. I think. Yeah, scalability, usability, and usability. But actually, we jump on this topic like accessibility, easiness, like account abstraction, the buzzword. So, what is account abstraction for all grandmas, grandpas? What they need to know? Like, I don't know. What is definition? Let's start with the definition for everybody. And then we go to the next, why we need account abstraction.
Well,
don't be shy.
I think I'm probably not the best person on this panel to answer this, but for me, it's basically that we move away from the state of the art that we use an externally owned account to sign all the transaction, and we move to a smart contract-based account to use everything, and that will enable us to basically abstract away a lot of the stuff that is currently now hard-coded in how a signer would work, how a wallet would work. And that allows you to, for example, do gasless transactions without having the token that you interact with comply to a standard, and obviously also have recovery methods that make it possible to recover your account. So I think these are the two big points, but obviously there's probably others.
I think obviously at the moment one big challenge to the onboarding is that when you have an EOA kind of wallet, when you're creating your wallet, you have to write down your seed phrase, and you have to store it somewhere. Like the entire kind of process is a bit slow. So yeah, account abstraction will be definitely a massive use case for, and this is nothing new, right? It's been around since 2016, 2017, but just recently, I know all VCs are salivating about it. Everyone is talking about it. There is a very cool project I like. It's called Bravos on Starknet. They leverage kind of Touch ID and account abstraction to have an easier way to onboard users. So I really like the kind of thinking. Yeah, obviously social recovery, that will be another big one. Because at the moment that your wallet, the way you access your wallet is tied to your funds, which is something ridiculous. But with, account abstraction will solve a lot of these challenges, I guess.
Yeah, I want to add something. I think it's really important, like, what is the benefit for the end user with account abstraction? So I think the core benefits, like Ferdi said, is like a better and more standardized way of doing a gasless transaction. So like a gas station, basically a paymaster. So the end user benefit is I don't have to have, or one of the benefits is I don't have to have the chain's gas token. Like right now, I need to have ETH to do something on Ethereum. So if I send my mom an NFT, then she on Ethereum, and she doesn't have any ETH, she can't send it to someone else. And that's maybe okay if there's only Ethereum, but I think right now, and like at least for the next couple of years, we're clearly in a multi-chain world. So now it's already complex enough for my mom to already understand what is gas on Ethereum. But now if she has to understand what gas is on like 5 different chains, like it's really game over, and she's not gonna bother with it. So one end user benefit is really the paymaster feature. But I want to highlight that there's other ways to do that, like ERP 4337, for instance, which is one incarnation of account abstraction, like makes this nice. But already today we have ways of doing that. and that are somewhat constrained. Like on Saturn, for instance, you have gasless transactions, but except for ERC20 approves, which by design can't be relayed. And now there's innovation in that space too, moving from approves to permits, which can be relayed. So there's like many things going on that are gonna usher in a world where we can, like for the no coiner, abstract away the gas. And even for us, for coiners, like I don't have gas on any of these chains. Sorry, I don't have gas on all of these chains. And then of course Base just came out with Coinbase, which tries to innovate on that too by using just Ethereum as a gas token, which people already have. So that's one thing, end user benefit that's massive. And another end user benefit that's massive is you can batch transactions built in. So for instance, when I sign up on ENS, there's multiple transactions that I have to carry out. And that's, for me as an end user, even as a coiner, it's massive anxiety. Like what happens if I refresh my browser window in step 2 and these kind of things. And here it's sort of the same answer. Like you can already do this with current technology, like smart contract wallets like Nosif or Argent allow you to batch those transactions. And then there's an EIP and also a CASA proposal for batch transactions to also make this with current technology, so that like basically I batch transactions, I switch over, or like I show the Metamask modal and then I just sign multiple transactions at once. So this is something we could do with the current Ethereum technology, with the drawback of it's not atomic. But I think there's many things we're gonna explore, and that we should also explore at the same time, because realistically it's gonna take some time until EIP 4337 or the alternative implementation is going to be proliferated. So it's great if we have, through the CASA standards body and other things, can proliferate things on the way there.
What I also really like is that all the logic lives in the smart contract, so you can go really granular with things, with the spending limit, paymaster. So that's, I think, what we're missing at the moment. As Derek said, there is solution for multi-sig, even for gasless transaction, but all this is solution, like they don't really let you go as granular as having this logic living on chain.
It's just for the benefit of the audience here. What again are paymasters, and why we need it? What is paymaster? What is a paymaster?
Well, to my understanding, it's just the ability to swap out any sort of ERC20 token against native, and sort of have that as a part of the transaction that you want to go through. And I think, by the way, like paying gas, you have to pay gas for a transaction. I think it's like, in a certain way, it's a good thing because you have total ownership about the execution of the transaction. But if you compare it to any other service in the world that you're using that is not crypto related, it's totally unknown. You would never go to a bank and pay for the electricity that your bank withdrawal is using. And I think framing any crypto interaction like that makes sense. That if you think about taking that away from a crypto interaction, you will also see a lot more usage, because right now if somebody sends you crypto, an ERC20 token, you still can't do anything with it. Still have to sign on to any sort of on-ramp solution, pay sometimes a huge fee, or do a strenuous KYC process. And in my opinion, that's not going to be the one. That's not going to be the mode of operation that brings on the next billion. So I think having paymaster contracts or a fully capable account abstraction EIP is super important for us to actually scale the blockchain. And I think now that we have L2s and a lot cheaper ways to execute transactions, this will be much more attractive to dApps and companies to pay for the gas fees and seek their revenue in a more traditional way, like taking a cut out of any sort of transaction, or offering free transaction execution from customers, but take some revenues for their business-to-business services.
Is there any concern? I mean, do you have any concern on the security side?
I mean, it's a new technology, right? And it's still a smart contract. So I guess, as always, like it will take some time to being adopted and for people to actually kind of to have an interface, to have a kind of schema. At the moment there is none, so it will take time. That's why I was saying before, like VC are salivating about it, but it will still take like it's not something that is going to happen in the next 2-3 months, that every wallet is going to integrate account abstraction. It will take time.
But it's also like, yes, security may be a concern, but like with cheaper gas fees, when we move away from these high value investment transactions, it's also not going to be the worst thing in the world. Like if you think about like the average sort of everyday transaction that you may make, you can try out something with that, right? You can create a dedicated wallet for your everyday transaction. It doesn't have to be your main account that, you know, has all your hundreds of ETH that is super, you know, valuable. It can be something where you play around with it, and I think that's going to be the way forward, especially with lower gas fees.
And especially, I think also for, apart from end users, also for enterprises, there is a huge kind of market there, because you can have like a main wallet, and then each department of your company could have a separate account with spending limit. They don't have, each account doesn't have to care about gas. You can have all your gas fee paid from your main wallet. So yeah, this really exciting stuff.
I think on the security thing, the problem is rather that we need to enable the customer to like do the right choices. Like right now, if you carry out a gasless transaction, I think Ferdi touched on it, but you're completely overwhelmed. You see like some binary bits and bytes, and then like even coiners like myself are scared. Like I don't know what's going on, and also I'm too lazy. Like I actually don't want to analyze this. So I'm like excited for the day when there's going to be transaction simulation, and which is a hard problem, and there's much more low-hanging fruit. I'm giving a talk on the subject at WorldCon tomorrow, so there's way more low-hanging fruit that we can do, basically with domain binding, just like matching, okay, you're on uniswap.com, or first of all, like if you're on eviluniswap.com, you can do a lookup and maybe show the end user, hey, maybe you don't want to interact with eviluniswap.com. It's like low-hanging fruit. Then the next layer is, hey, you're on eviluniswap.com, or you're on uniswap.com, but you're interacting with this and that contract, but this and that contract isn't affiliated with uniswap.com. So maybe, you know, double check this. And then the last step would be the transaction simulation that I can see when I do this gasless transaction or a regular transaction. Like this is what's happening, like you're transferring this NFT to that account. If I just enable the user to like see this visually, then I think most of the security concerns are addressed. And then the other security concerns are hypothetical, like the hypothetical security concerns of the RPC, of the RPC provider being malicious. Like it's a real security concern, but there's going to be answers, but we're only going to do the right investments into like getting to the solutions if there's enough mass market, like if it's sexy enough and financially valuable enough to address this. So for RPC, for instance, there's a lot of money in RPC, and now there's many approaches into improving decentralization, and there's also one approach like which uses, I forgot the name of the company, but they use like HSM, or like they have basically a technology so you can verify the software that's running in the RPC and that it's not malicious and whatever. So there's now a plethora of innovation to address this concept, and I think we're going to see the same, but first we need to get mass market.
Permissionless innovation. I mean, actually, like Mirko, I have a question for you. Obviously, how many of you guys know what a Metamask snap is? Raise your hand. A bit. Some people here? No? Give a quick background of what snaps are, and like, will snaps could help this? I mean, could help actually, like, I mean, or did you see some snaps already helping in the account extraction like phase with like, you know, MPC and specific like account recovery agents? Is there anything that you want to say? But let's give a quick like, what are snaps so that everybody know? And
sure. So snaps, it's an ecosystem of programs that runs on top of MetaMask and that just extend the core functionality. So some use cases of Snap could be like, let's say you want to integrate Bitcoin or Solana or any non-EVM chain, you will be able to do it through a Snap. So it's not native in MetaMask. It is something that we probably, for a variety of reasons, don't want to integrate into MetaMask, but you will be able to access those kind of keys for those networks. There is snaps for transaction insights as well, where you can get more insight about the kind of interaction that you're doing with a smart contract or the transaction you're carrying. Yeah, definitely for snaps and account abstraction, we do have a few of them already built. There is a very good one from Biconomy that I really like, and I know that there is people that are doing crazy stuff with spending limit and multi-sig, leveraging account abstraction. And also for mobile in general, I think Snap it's not in our roadmap in the very near future, but it will be definitely a big part of mobile, where people will be able to build a Snap for integrating with their native app. So that's something super exciting that we're looking forward to.
Cool, good overview. I think we are almost on time. Quick takeaway or home assignment, like give us like top resources on account abstraction that you think we should check out when we go home tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously there is this, some people you might know it, but we have this Telegram channel called 4337 Mafia, where they talk about account abstraction, onboarding. There is a lot of talk about mobile in general. And there is a very good repo on GitHub. I think if you look for 4337 resources, you will find it where there is a list of talks and documents specific about 4337. And I guess if you're looking for more mobile stuff in general, there is so many resources. We do have some documentation on our SDK for Metamask, which is in metamask.io/docs, if I'm not correct. And yeah.
Nice. Anything to add? Any key takeaway on mobile onboarding, mobile challenges, or the topic that we spoke about today?
It's gonna happen.
For the developers here, don't build your apps desktop first. From now on, like, it's 2023, build your apps mobile first, like web browser first, be very cognizant, go into Safari, enable your 3G, throttle down your internet to 3G, make sure your app actually works. And of course, if you have an issue with Wallet Connect, then hit us up on Discord or Twitter or wherever. We'll love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, and think about like usability and onboarding. I think this is really important. I think also we need more, UX hackathon where actually people build like Web3 products, but actually think about how I'm onboarding the end users. I think that's also like super important. Cool. I think like we are at time, and big shout out to our panelists.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Big round of applause to our panelists. Thank you so much, everyone. This is the official launch of ETH Mobile here at ETH Denver. And everybody welcome to join us. First time in Miami, very soon. Stay connected, stay tuned. We couldn't do this without the support of volunteers, stewards, and all people engaged on the Denver ecosystem here. So we're very grateful for having us and hosting us here for our announcement. And we're gonna do one last short talk from our media partner, Cointelegraph Acceleration. It's a new program recently launched, and I wanna welcome Anna Shakola to tell us a little bit more in a few minutes. So stay connected. Please talk to all the panelists. They're gonna stay there. CTO of Wallet Connect, senior developers for Metamask, ThirdWeb. Thank you everybody for joining us. And I'm gonna give a few minutes to Anna Shakola from Cointelegraph. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, guys. It's already 5:30 p.m. I know that you're exhausted, but I hope I will be quick, bright, and give you some fresh ideas about new opportunities for startups. Are you familiar with the Cointelegraph as a media? Yeah, so just few now humble things. We are the oldest one and the biggest one media in space. We have 11 franchisees, so once you interact with Cointelegraph, you can target different geographies. So we've seen so many cool projects in 2020, 21. We create enormous amounts of marketing companies. And we decided to enter VC space because we want to support you guys. We want to support builders, and we want to help projects who's the latest, who at the youngest stage, at seed stage, pre-seed stage, and early A stages. So we created accelerator with the business model media for tokens or equity. So we are looking for startups who has already a mature MVP and who's ready to onboard Cointelegraph traffic, Cointelegraph users, and who's ready to be published at our sources and explore the beautiful power of our CEO. Once future investors will Google you, once future partners will search for your company name, it's a really good mark for you guys at early stages to be published at Cointelegraph. So it's very simple. You just press into search link that Cointelegraph acceleration, and you will find our landing page where you can find open source form and fill up the form. I personally will check your application. You can find me in social network. Probably Jennifer will share my contacts afterwards on the screen, and you can easily reach me out to make sure that I check your form and I will reply to you. Please follow Cointelegraph, keep updated, and this year we launch a lot of grants for you guys during all big conference this year. So Paris Blockchain Conference, Hong Kong Wow Summit, Paris Ethereum this July, and bunch of other conferences. We provide grants for them, for young builders, for seed early stages. Normally from 20K up to 50K. Please check our website, be updated, and win Cointelegraph grants for your companies. Thank you very much. I'm Anna Shakola. Here you will find my contacts afterwards, and follow Cointelegraph Accelerator. Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause for Anna Shakola. I appreciate everyone coming to our session. And one more time, one more day, don't get overwhelmed. Get good food, get good sleep. There's gonna be a lot of more days, panels. Remember the main stage at the other location, at the main location, is gonna be open from Thursday. So stay tuned. There's a lot of things coming for the next few days. I appreciate you guys coming to our last session. This was the launch of ETH Mobile, so everything is being live streamed on Twitch, and all the content and satellite events, side events are going to be on the main page of ETH Denver. So all the information is there. Thank you everyone for participating on our last session, and always welcome. See you guys tomorrow for another day of ETH Denver. Thank you so much.